Right, so this club has officially broken me. Like, generally, I am this close to crying right now. If you don't know the news, which I'm sure you might know because I tweeted out earlier, Amad Diallo is set to miss the rest of the season for injury. And in my live streams last week when I was talking about not replacing Rashford and Anthony and having four options in attack, I said, if something happens to Amad, or if something happens to Bruno, or worse, something happens to Bruno and Amad, we are finished. I said, I'm not worried about relegation, but if something happened to one of those, Amad is now apparently out for the rest of the season with an injury. And I spoke about this in my video yesterday. I said there's rumours that Amad was injured. And the top comment on that video, which I've now deleted, was Alice, stop making up lies for clicks. Amad's not injured. Well, I wish I was lying when I spoke about it in my video yesterday, when I said there's a rumour Amad was injured. And the rumour that Amad was injured was it was only be a couple of weeks and they were assessing him. I wish I was lying, but I wasn't. He's out for the rest of the season. I report everything. I report every bit of news. I report every bit of rumours, even if it's good, even if it's bad. And I wish that news I was reporting yesterday that Amad might be injured was all made up. I wish it was. But he's out for the rest of the season. And it's not just Amad being out for the rest of the season. Yeah? Mainoo suffered an injury. He's going to be out for maybe 6 weeks, one rumour said. Ugarte and Collyer are probably not fit. So if there's no Ugarte and Collyer, it's Bruno and Casemiro in the pivot. And that means it's probably Garnacho, Højlund, Xerxes front three. We are a Bruno injury away from Eriksen, Casemiro pivot and Garnacho, Højlund, Xerxes front three for the rest of the season when we can't score goals with Amad and Bruno in a team and we are 14th in the league. I mean, guys, Amad Diallo set to miss the rest of the season with an ankle injury confirmed. Manchester United star suffered the injury earlier this week as Chris Wheeler reports. He's expected to be unavailable for the next 3 months. Big blow for United and Ruben Amorim. I don't have enough the words for this. I was talking about this in live streams like, we're screwed if Amad gets injured. Thinking if Amad gets injured, maybe it's a 2-3 week injury. Rest of the season, Ipswich got a point today with 10 men. Ipswich are looking quite threatening. I'm going to have to be hoping that Liverpool beat Ipswich when I don't want Liverpool to win the league. Because this is what Ipswich is doing to me. This is what not Ipswich. This is what Manchester United have done to me. I'm worried about Ipswich. I'm worried about Southampton. I'm worried about Leicester. It's 2025 and Man United fans are worried about Ipswich picking up points. Because there's 12 points between Manchester United and Ipswich right now. 12. But there's 14 games to go. And I don't want to be negative, and I don't think we're going to get relegated. But oh my. You can't even blame Ruben Amorim. You look at the options we have, and I am scared. And we've got to talk about INEOS. We've got to talk about the not replacing players. We've got to talk about it all. Like, this is going to be a rant, and I don't like to rant, but you've got, this is one of those moments you've got to rant. Martinez is out for the rest of the season. Amad's out for the rest of the season. Ugarte's out. Mainoo's out. Collyer's out. Shaw's out. Mason Mount's out. Bayindy is out. And Johnny Evans is out. You know what? We were talking about it in my live stream this morning. I said, hopefully this is Amorim's rock bottom. Every time we think we've hit rock bottom at Man United, someone digs that hole even deeper. We were 13th. We've been crap. Oh, but at least Martinez was starting to look good. And at least we have Amad Diallo. Oh, no. Now they're out for the rest of the season. Carrington. Once again, you're going to have to bail this out. Sometimes when things like this happen, there's an opportunity. We had an injury crisis under Van Gaal, and there was the opportunity for Marcus Rashford to flourish. Sometimes there's opportunities. You look at Wanyeri, you look at Lewis Skelly for Arsenal. This will be an opportunity for some people at Carrington. We've got some incredible talents. Morehouse, Scanlon, Obi Martin, Sekou Kone. We've got some incredible talents in the under-21s, incredible talents in the under-18s. And sadly, a lot of them won't be ready. And it's a massive step up. And we can't put too much pressure on these talents. And if they don't perform, we cannot write them off and give them stick. But we're going to need the young boys to step up and give everything for Manchester United. We're going to need Carrington to save us again. Because this club right now is an absolute mess. Obi Martin, Sekou Kone, Jack Morehouse, Harry Amas and Eli Harrison, who's a keeper, have all travelled with Manchester United to face Tottenham. Boys, we need you. We need you. And though you're raw and you can make mistakes and you can give the ball away, but we need you. We need Carrington again to show up. Scanlon was almost in the under-18 squad as well, but I mean, I was surprised he didn't take Scanlon, considering he's played first-team football for Gibraltar and scored goals. I know it's against San Marino, but yeah, believe both are in first-team training and under consideration for Sunday. No word if you will travel yet. We now know that Obi Martin will travel. We also have to travel by coach because the trains aren't working. So if you think everything's going wrong for us, even the trains are going wrong for us. This is an opportunity for Sekou Kone because we've got no Ugarte and Collyer. So Kone, Bruno pivot will be Casemiro, Bruno pivot. Kone, Morehouse, Amas was the one that surprised me out of all of those. You know, that surprised me a bit. Obi, we need you to step up. Because right now we're a mess. And this is where I'm going to have to rant. I saw this from Liz. INEOS saw us sitting 14th place, let 2 attackers go in our weakest position already, brought no one, and our best attacker is out for the rest of the season. You can tell me this club didn't purposely throw the season away. You can't tell me this club didn't purposely throw the season away, and they have the nerve to increase ticket prices. Joke. 14th in the league. Rashford gone, Anthony gone, and people saying, Alice, it's long-term planning, it's long-term planning. INEOS are thinking of the long-term project. They're thinking of the long-term project, but they're making Amorim's job impossible. And if they sack Amorim at the end of the season, they're bloody idiots because they're the ones that made his job impossible. I'm all for long-term planning and PSR and thinking about the summer, but they wrote this season off. They thought, we won't back Amorim, we'll get rid of this player, we'll get rid of that player, we'll force Marcus Rashford out so we can have money and PSR and spend it all on a load of young players in the summer and do a Chelsea. That's how I feel right now. 14th place, you let 2 attackers go. And yes, Amorim wasn't really playing Rashford. And yes, Amorim wasn't playing Anthony. But it's fine. Let the attackers go, but at least replace them. You didn't replace them. Marcus Rashford looked very good for Villa. He was the best attacking threat when he came on. And apparently he's not training well. Who actually believes that? Who believes that Rashford decided he wasn't going to train well for 10 whole matches so we could move to Aston Villa? Everybody knows that was a load of BS made out by INEOS so they could force Rashford out of the club because they want him out of the club because of his wages and PSR. And I'm all for saying, you know what, Amorim doesn't rate Rashford, get him out of the club. Amorim doesn't rate Casemiro, get him out of the club. I'm all for that. But there needs to be some kind of plan of, okay, well, we've lost Rashford. We've let him go to a rival. Let's maybe bring in a replacement. I'm at the point where I'm thinking, can we recall Sancho from this loan? Me saying that. You know I've gone nuts. You know this team has maybe gone nuts. Less than 2 weeks after failing to replace Rashford and Anthony, Amad, our best attacker, gets injured and set to miss the rest of the season. Mainoo out for a month. Ugarte and Collyer also injured. Road to 40 points. Not replacing Anthony, not replacing Rashford is looking like a huge mess from INEOS. You know, I'm all for letting players go, getting off the wage bill, freeing up money, putting us in a better position in the summer, long-term planning. I get that. Højlund, Xerxes, Garnacho. Højlund, Xerxes, Garnacho are our only front three first-team options for the rest of the season. Højlund has 2 goals. Omar Mamouche outscored Højlund in 33 minutes versus Newcastle this season. It took him 33 minutes versus Newcastle to outscore Højlund. Xerxes isn't even a number 9, and Ruben Amorim doesn't see Xerxes as a long-term player for his system. Garnacho was a player they were willing to sell. Imagine if we'd have sold Garnacho. Garnacho's our best attacker. Imagine if we'd have sold Garnacho. You know what? I was critical of Ruben Amorim, and I've been critical of Ruben Amorim. But you know what? We could finish 17th. We could finish 17th, and I'd say that's not Ruben Amorim's fault. He hasn't got the players. I thought last season was rock bottom. I didn't think it was going to get any worse than last season. And every time I think this club has found its rock bottom, it sinks lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. You know, for me, I'm generally like road to 40 points. Road for 40 points. We see Rashford completing 3 out of 3 take-ons, getting the assist technically versus Villa, threatening, putting in crosses, looking really good. Crossbar denied him his first goal. We're thinking, well, it's fine. We've got Amad Diallo and Bruno, they're top players. Amad's out. If Bruno is out, we are screwed. Luckily Bruno is like Magic Man. But if something happens to Bruno Fernandes, I don't know where to look. We're gonna need guys. I'm worried. Maybe I'm being reactionary. Maybe I should have waited an hour to do this video. But we all know that Rashford leaving was more than just training performances. It was a PSR opportunity for INEOS. We didn't replace him. We let Matthias Tell go to Tottenham. Tell wanted us. He didn't want Tottenham. But we wouldn't pay the loan money, which, yes, it was a bit excessive, and he went to Tottenham. We're gonna regret that. Look, I don't think we're gonna get relegated, but it's a possibility. Like, I'm like, not having Amad for the rest of the season, on top of the blow that we got with Collyer, Ugarte, and Mainoo earlier, because Mainoo can play 10, at least that's another attacking option. Collyer and Ugarte, I said, we need at least one of them fit because we need legs. If both of them out at the same time as Mainoo and at the same time as Amad, and Ruben Amorim talked about wanting more time to train with the players. Well, that's gone really wrong, hasn't it? It's only Tottenham. Lads, it's only Tottenham next. I don't know. I'm going to go live tonight, maybe 9 o'clock, maybe 9 p.m. I'm going to do a live, and we'll discuss it more then. Thank you for watching. Bye.